History made tonight on FanDuel Sports Network by James Harden here in Minneapolis. Welcome to Clippers Live Postgame presented by Hyundai on FanDuel Sports Network. We are courtside in Minneapolis where the Clippers face a narrow defeat this evening. Coach Fratello, though, the first thing we're going to have to talk about is James Harden making history, joining the top 10 NBA scorers of all time. It was a meaningful accomplishment to him when he talked about it a couple nights ago, the possibility of joining names like LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, among others. Coach Fratello, your thoughts on James Harden reaching this historic milestone?
Well, to reach that level and do it while he's helping all of his teams, every one of them win, and you get to the playoffs, to me, is a very special part of it. And he does it in so many ways. His ability to create shots off the dribble using that big, strong body of his to take the contact. He can pull up, stop on a dime, and knock down threes on a regular basis. He's so physical that he gets to the free throw line and shoots a number of free throws and makes the majority of them. That's what allows you to be a prolific scorer.
Let's take a look now at the list. I ran you through a few of them. Add Karl Malone, Dirk Nowitzki, Wilt Chamberlain, Kevin Durant, Shaquille O'Neal, and one James Harden. Absolutely spectacular stuff. And when James talked about it, he said he was a little moved to be named among those guys, especially considering he came into the league coming off the bench, unlike Kevin Durant or LeBron James. He played a bunch of different roles in this league. He spent some time as a secondary creator, a secondary scorer. What do you make of the fact that he had a bit of a different path to that list than some of the other folks on it?
Well, we don't know, but that may have been part of the reason why he became what he is, because when you're sitting there watching a guy like Kevin Durant, okay, night in and night out, and Russell Westbrook, those kinds of guys who were the starters on the teams before he finally got his opportunity. But I can still remember people talking about him coming off the bench saying, wow, what a guy they have coming in off the bench. He could start for any other team in the NBA. Well, here he is now in the top 10.
Sure enough, traded to Houston. He called that trade life-changing. But let's get back to tonight's game. Coach Fratello, some great stuff, especially in the first half. It's become a bit of a familiar refrain. They claw their way back in the fourth quarter, just not quite enough down the stretch. What did you see?
Well, the first half was just an outstanding half over both ends of the floor. By the Clippers. They scored, they executed on offense, they made shots, and they defended extremely well against a very difficult Minnesota team. But when the second half outscored 67-50 and lose a 3-point heartbreaking game right there, Harden had to look at it to try and tie it right there on the last shot. So, look, I think there's growth here. We've seen growth. We saw growth last night in Memphis. We saw growth tonight in the game. And I would think, Ty Lue, it's another loss. I understand that you're not looking for moral victory, but you're looking for the team improvement. And I see some at both ends of the floor.
If you see it, I'm sure the coaching staff sees it as well, Coach Fratello. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at what happened here in Minneapolis tonight, for better and for worse, and look ahead to the Clippers' next contest in Houston. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Clippers Live Postgame presented by Hyundai here on FanDuel Sports Network. Coach Fratello, Kawhi Leonard, another productive outing. What else can he do to help this team get over the hump?
Well, I think the one thing Kawhi does going into the game is he knows that in that first half, because of the minute restriction they have on him, he's got to try and create shots, get points on the board early, because he may not be around to be able to play minutes down the stretch. Ty Lue did an interesting thing tonight. Split those last 7 minutes up, played him 3, then sat him on the bench and saved them for the end down the stretch. Went up to 31 minutes of playing time tonight. But you can count on Kawhi when he's out there. He understands I've got to make things happen at the offensive end of the floor, and he's done it as well at the defensive end.
And you told me during the break you didn't mind that last look that the Clippers were able to generate.
No, the last look by James Harden, the defender on him was not going to leave his feet. I'm sure those were orders from Coach Fish. Do not leave your feet by James Harden, or he'll make the shot and you'll foul him, and we'll lose the game by 1 when he makes the free throw. So he just put his arms straight up in the air, the defender, and let Harden shoot it up over the top. And Harden's not bad at making threes.
You raise a good point. He got to the line extremely effectively tonight. The Wolves did a good job to limit that down the stretch. After all, he did make history at the free throw line tonight here on FanDuel Sports Network. So as we look ahead to the Clippers' next matchup, they'll go to Houston. They get a couple days off in Los Angeles first, some well-earned one. This season has been riddled with back-to-backs for the Clippers. They have the most traveling back-to-backs in the NBA. So go get some rest in Los Angeles, travel out to Houston, and then, Coach, what do you make of this matchup?
Well, we'll see, first of all, how many days off Coach Lou gives them before they bring them back to practice once again. But without question, Houston is one of your top 5 teams in the NBA. They have an outstanding group of young players, and then they're led by a guy who's been around for a few years but still knows how to score the basketball, and one of the great competitors in this league. Kevin Durant likes to score and win.
No shortage of history between these two as well. Friends, competitors, all-time greats, and 2 of the NBA's leading scorers of all time. Coach Fratello, it was a pleasure to have you here on this back-to-back with me on FanDuel Sports Network. We will be back in just a couple days. For Coach, for Brian, for everybody, we'll wrap it up right after the break. Hey, Clippers fans, if you ever miss a live game, you can catch up with game replays on the FanDuel Sports Network app. As soon as the final whistle blows, you can watch every highlight and every big moment in your choice of a 5, 10, or 15-minute condensed game. Download the FanDuel Sports Network app today. And as we say goodbye from Minneapolis, a reminder to tune in for our next telecast on Thursday night from Houston as the Clippers take on the Houston Rockets. Clippers Live will begin at 4:30 p.m. Pacific here on FanDuel Sports Network. So for Brian Seaman, Mike Fratello, and our entire crew, I'm Lauren Rosen. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next time.